Saturdays from the hour of 2 p.m. up to the hour of 3 p.m. and the duration of the show is only 1 hour, and that 1 hour has been segmented into two. We have got the first stanza of the show, where we basically talk about the stories that happen within the region. We talk about the national stories. If the continental stories are there, we don't leave them out. We also give them to you. And basically in the second stanza of the show, we normally bring for you what is transpiring in international sports. So this is what we are going to discuss. We will be talking about what is transpiring at the camp of Onduparaka Football Club, the latest information about the club and the target of the club this season in FUFA Big League. And at the same time, we will not only stop there, we will also be talking about the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Remember, yesterday we had one game on the card. The misery still keeps on piling on the team of KC. This time, they are the rock bottom team, and Arua Hill Sports Club, of course, they have overtaken him. They are now at number 15th. That means the team of KC, they are now the last team at number 16th after losing the game into the hands of the team NEC FC yesterday. Still, actions will continue in UPL today. As I talk right now, there is a game which has already kick-started between URA and the Maroons. And after that, we'll be seeing Vipers up against Bright Stars. And there will be a game between Express up against the team of UPDF. Not only that one within the country, we'll also be giving updates and analysis about what transpired yesterday night in the game of the Women Olympic Qualifiers. Remember, there was a game between our Crested Cranes as they did take on Cameroon. How it ended, we'll also be doing discussions about that one. And still within the country, a Sabira official has been appointed as the technical director for the team of Gaddafi. How good is this one for the club and also for the man himself? We'll also be talking about that one. And in European sports, basically we'll be talking about what transpired yesterday and yesterday evening in UEFA Europa League and in UEFA Europa Conference. We had so many teams that, of course, battled it yesterday. Liverpool, of course, won their game up against Toulouse. There was a game between Aston Villa and Eze Alkmaar. How it transpired, we also be talking about that one. And West Ham, of course, they were away to Greece to take on that Olympiacos Peru. They lost that game, and the biggest story coming in the world of transfer is all about Saudi Pro League. This time they are eyeing Kevin De Bruyne, and at the same time, this time Newcastle, of course, they are looking for a replacement for that is Sandro Tonali, because we are all aware that this guy, of course, is going to be out for 10 months, as he received the ban for 10 months, and they're already into market to see which midfield, of course, can be able to replace him as they wait for the months to come to an end. As I said, we are going to discuss with the discussion about what is transpiring at the camp of Onduparaka, the latest information coming from the team of Onduparaka, and at the same time, the target of the team this time. Not only that one, we'll also be discussing some few things about the team of Onduparaka. I'll not be discussing it alone. As I said, Owen Ezaga this time is a special guest in the studios of West Nile TV, though he's one of the pundits of Whistle Time. But today, more especially in the first stanza of the show, as the first 30 minutes of the show, we'll be talking about what is taking place at the camp of Onduparaka Football Club. Owen, you are most welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, viewer. Good afternoon, Benson, and of course, good afternoon to the family of Whistle Time, because I love seeing us together. But this time around, it's all about Onduparaka, just like said, and a lot that we shall be talking about. Although later on, we shall also cross over to the international stories that will be coming right there. But all in all, yeah, we very good, and a good afternoon.
Yeah, first of all, how do you feel as being the PRO, as the public relations officer for a great club, an almighty club we have in the region of West Nile? Well, that happens to be one of the biggest clubs. If not one of them, this will be the biggest club currently we have in the region, though or they are currently playing the second tier of Ugandan football, and as being their PRO as the public relations officer. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a normal thing. There's nothing special. The speciality is all about getting, of course, a big brand. It's a big brand that I am in, and a brand that is very much recognized in the whole world. We've seen very many people who want to partner up with such a big brand. So it shows a very big, of course, thing. That is the speciality, or the way I feel special about, because I'm in a big brand, a dream come true. But otherwise, it is a normal thing being a PRO.
Okay, let's get to the real discussion. What is the strategic plan of this club? Because all people are aware, if you have been following the Star Times Uganda Premier League, this is a club that has stayed for 7 solid seasons in the top tier of Ugandan football. We're actually talking about the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Actually, before they were relegated last season alongside teams like Blacks Power, and this is their first season to play in FUFA Big League. What is the strategic plan of this team as far as the FUFA Big League is concerned?
I always keep saying it's not the first time the media houses have moved in. I say Onduparaka is not a team of that really wants to stay in the big league for quite a long time. That is the, in fact, every club in big league's target and ambition is not to stay in the big league. They are looking forward to see that they need to get off big league and, of course, make sure that things work out for them. So Onduparaka, like other clubs, is also the same. We want to go to, that is the Star Time Uganda Premier League. That's where we belong. It's just that we had a slide of course, we slide a bit, or we slid a bit that, of course, we needed to put it there. So we are getting to see that we really need to put things in order and make sure that the team needs to get to where it is. Because being in the first tier of Ugandan League means a lot for any club in this country, and not only this country, even other countries being in the first tier. Yeah, we're in the second tier, and that's why all focus this time round is changed mostly to, that is the Star Time Uganda Premier League, I mean the Bet Power FUFA Big League, because it is where the club is. Onduparaka is there, and everyone's focus is in the big league. Because Onduparaka is there, you hear people talk less about the FUFA Big League. That shows you how exactly big the brand is. It has brought in again the liveliness in following a big league. Very many people keep following it there, because Onduparaka is the club that is there. So that is one thing I want to say about the club. So we want to give, we don't want to disappoint the fans, because wherever we are, they always there with us. So we need to give them what exactly they deserve by making sure that we qualify to the top tier league, which is the first tier. So that is where the target is, that is where the ambition is, that is where the efforts have been put together to make sure that things go on right that side of Onduparaka Football Club.
I know currently the fans, everyone who follows Onduparaka Football Club, right now they are prioritizing, always praying to see that the team, of course, has to earn the promotion back to where they were relegated. We actually talking, as you said, the top tier of Ugandan football. I know every team, it may not apply to every team that is currently playing in Bet Power FUFA Big League. Teams like Onduparaka Football Club, you talk about Blacks Power, these are new teams from Star Times Uganda Premier League. That's why right now they are aiming to get back to where they were relegated. And you also talk about teams like Police FC, you talk about Lugazi, you talk about teams like Boma FC, teams that have stayed for so many seasons. You talk about FUFA Big League. This time their priority is also to see that they cross the bridge to that Star Times Uganda Premier League. Matthias, you have said that this time the priority of the club is to see that they cross the bridge to Star Times Uganda Premier League. I know, not only me, so many people know that, even you know that that journey, of course, will not come automatic, it will not come in an easy way. What are some of the special things you have already put in plan to see that the team, of course, has to cross the bridge in a successful way? Because you have got competitors. I've mentioned the teams. I don't want to go back and repeat them again. I forgot only one vital team. That's Calvary, which is also performing very well. What specific things, what specific plans do you have for the club to see that they actually cross the bridge?
I want to repeat myself. There's nothing specific we need to think about. It's all about playing your right cards and playing the game and winning them home and away. The only thing is that we right now looking at how do we also get our away wins. That's what we are doing too, because for you to get there is we need to win our also away games to make sure that we get, or we will reach where we are. Very many teams are competing. You've talked about clubs that are there. I don't want to talk about them, but I want to focus on Onduparaka. The issue is Onduparaka Football Club has the ambition of, or the target is to reach Star Times Uganda Premier League. So what do we need to do? Get the maximum points. That's what is there. We will not put something special that we need to put in here to make sure that we achieve promotion. Even the person who will put something special will always have to first perform. You will put something special, but when the performance is not there, you're going to have face challenges. So,
based on how the team is performing right now, I think they have already played. 4 games, and out of the 4 games, they have lost 2 of them. and picking 2 wins, and they're having 6 points. They should be lying somewhere 6th on the log. If not 6, they should be at number 7.
Big League is always so surprising. You will never find a big gap difference. So anytime today someone wins, tomorrow is on top, the next day is off top, and that's how exactly Big League is. So it's all about finishing in the top 3, and anywhere we finish is going to be there. We may not say only it's a must that we need to be a champion in the Big League, but of course the target is to finish. So to finish in there means that you need to win, you need to be in the top 3 to qualify for the Start Time Uganda Premier League. So it doesn't matter whether we finish first, second or third, but at least in that format that we need to finish, we are able to make sure that we go to Start Time Uganda Premier League. So the only thing is win the games, win home and away, and that is it. Yes, we have lost 2 away games, but we have won 2 home games. That shows you what exactly we need to now work on, and that is what exactly the technical team is working upon.
You look at the statistics: 4 games played, winning 2 and losing 2, and the 2 defeats, of course, they have come in away games. Does it mean whenever the team is away from home, they cannot be able to win games? Because the 2 defeats, they have come from away, they have come away from home.
Every team that is always home has an upper advantage every time. You know that very well. But of course, the only thing we can say is that we lost 1-0 to Blacks Power. It was a late goal that came in there. We lost 2-1 when we scored first against, that is Chiinda Boys, and they came back and equalized and of course got in there. So those are some of the things we need now to work upon. Sometimes if a team doesn't lose, you don't see where your weaknesses are. You think the team is all good, but of course this makes now the technical team work and Onduparaka FC see where exactly the weaknesses are, because there's still a lot. If it needs us to add in more squad depth, we are going to do that. Of course, in January is coming, so it is still a long process to determine what exactly it is. But we have seen teams lose last season totally most of the games, but at last they proved themselves by winning all home games. So if you can get home games and win them all, and then of course get all 2, 3, 4 away games, trust me, you are there into that as a top tier league.
Statistically, which I don't want to go back because I've already talked about how they have been playing, how they have been putting the results ever since the start of the new season of FUFA Big League. And it's true, this is one of the biggest clubs we have in the FUFA Big League right now. This time I may not talk about Start Times Uganda Premier League, and so many teams that have been there. And the team, of course, Onduparaka was relegated with it. I'm talking about Blacks Power. They have that fear factor for the team of Onduparaka Football Club. And most of the people, they believe that Onduparaka right now, even before the start of the new season, they believe that Onduparaka, they are one of the favorites to earn the promotion back to where they were relegated alongside teams like Blacks Power. You may talk about teams like Police FC. The way they are performing, 4 games played, 2 defeats already, 2 wins, 6 points. You look at the table standing, the log, they are not even in top 3, they are not in top 4, they are not in the top 5. Matches, they have played 1 game less than most of the people. Does it mean the way they are performing right now, people may end up withdrawing their target, that this is one of the teams that may at the end of the season earn the promotion back to where they belong?
All if you know football, you would be not withdrawing. Only if you don't know football, then you would withdraw. And for Onduparaka, it doesn't make any challenge. If it is let's say Benson losing hope that Onduparaka will not qualify, and the players and the management team of Onduparaka is saying we are qualifying, then we don't see any challenge there. It is okay, because everyone is entitled to his or her opinion. But for the club, I've told you, the target is to go and make sure that we qualify. That's not where we belong. That's not where we belong. I've been in Big League for quite very many years. That is not yet a bad result. I've seen teams that have lost 4 games in a row, but at last they are in the top 3. I've seen teams pushing. So it's all about planning well. But of course, a very big game to see because Onduparaka is preparing for another game. So right now the focus is, can we get that away point or get in there and make sure that we proceed to the next level. That's one big thing I want to say, because it is a club that is for the people. It's a club that is there, and the people always rally behind it. That's why you're seeing even though Nduparaka loses, the fans will always go. You saw them, a number of them in Chiinda, overpowering even the Chiinda boys' fans. So that is how exactly the club is. So the fans are always together with the club, and I want to thank the fans because they know the journey of 1,000 miles starts, how it starts, and of course you will always have to succeed if you want to prosper. So it is either in the hard way you get it. There's no smooth way that you always push it right there, and that is always about life. So football is a journey.
Okay, before we look at another segment about the same club, that's on the Nduparaka Football Club, we have been talking about how the team has been performing. We have already talked about the statistics in terms of putting the results for the fans. Can you briefly highlight the fans with how the team has been performing, maybe the results, how they have been performing in the last 4 games, the first 4 games they have played, and probably maybe the upcoming 1 or 2 fixtures ahead of the team?
Yeah, I think our fans are so clear, and they should be always following our social handles to get all these informations, and I believe that's always what they do. But of course, our first game was away to, that is Blacks Power of the season, and then we came home here and had Chetume, where of course we were favorites by 3-1. And then of course we also did have another game with Kataka Football Club, where of course we scored 1-0. And then we went away to Chiinda Boys, a game that ended 2-1 in favor of Chiinda. And now we have a game that is coming, of course, to be played at that is Chigezi Homeboys place in Ibanda. The team, of course, is setting off. The team set off this morning. They're already going to Ibanda to see that they get their moments well with the games. So that's where, of course, the team is. After that, of course, the team will be coming back home, and we shall be waiting to see how, of course, the team will be welcomed home. So those are some of the games that are coming in there, but in a very tight way. I want to say that yeah, it's a long journey. You always move the whole country, so it is not easy. It is not easy, but all in all, the boys are doing their very best. The technical team headed by Samson Sizokuti, the management is trying everything possible to make sure that things work out. Supporters are coming in there, just like Carabino, David Majok are giving recently 18 pairs of boots to, that is the Nduparaka footballers, to see that of course they get into there, because you saw how of course muddy the place of Chiinda was. Boys were sliding every time. More boots needed to be added in there, so more gears are being brought on board. Yeah, I think it's a one of the biggest thing that as a supporter, if you come in like that, so the fan base keeps coming. I think it is moving on very, very well.
Okay, I know there are some fans of Nduparaka Football Club. Not that every fan of Nduparaka Football Club has that access of watching the games of the club. Each and every time they get to play games like this, you will have the fans, all of them turning for the game. There are some fans of Nduparaka Football Club that are residing in the other parts of the country, and they might still be thinking that the board members, they are still the same. The team had in the Star Times Uganda Premier League. You may briefly highlight the fans of Nduparaka with how the changes, of course, has been in the technical team right from the board.
Nduparaka is one of the professional clubs in this world, and yes, we don't just put anything off to the public. We don't just also give information anyhow to the public, but of course the information that comes out is always authentic one. Now when you look at the structures, we had a whole structure that we put. We even called upon people to make sure our social handles were very effective by making sure that the club's president, the club's patron, the club's it was all there. So that is the professionalism we've taken. Every club, yes, Facebook, Twitter, you will always get us there. Even the ones who are in our WhatsApp platforms, they are there. But all in all, I want to say that Afeti Tony is our president, after, of course, the two, of course, after the marketing, after the president of the club stepped down. Afeti Tony became the president of the club and is still the president. We have Michael Achidu, who is the club CEO, of course, of the club. We have Letaso Hope, who is the welfare, of course, of the club. We have the marketing and public relations, of course, officer. That is a department which, of course, is headed by, that is Drabe Godfrey. And then, of course, we have We have the public relations officer, who is me, of course. We do have, of course, the technical team headed by Mr. Samson Sizokuti, assisted by Mr. Of course, Jamaldeen Muhammad, of course, who is also right there. Then we have Okuni Ramadan, who is in the fitness team. We have Vudri who is the George, who is the physio. Of course, more other Congo Ibrahim, who is the goalkeeping coach. So it's a whole structure. We have the man by the names of Kurere, who is also one of the technical members in there. Just know it's a long list, but of course, all in all, those are the key positions I can give you in the meantime. The more of the team, of course, support staff are also there. So Nduparaka is just a company or an entity that has all these numbers that are pushing in there. And one of the biggest things for Nduparaka is the brand building, and that is what exactly we are trying to do. Brand exposure is one big thing, and that's why we keep our brand very, very unique, very big in the country.
This one brings us to looking at the players that departed the club, and at the same time the incoming players. I know some fans, it may not be to all the fans, some fans, they are still confused. They each and every time they come and watch the game of Nduparaka, they get to watch new faces. And you can also give them the new players the team signed over the summer transfer window, and at the same time the players that decided to leave the club in the summer transfer window.
I may not give you all the names that will be right there, but of course we have some key players that have come. One is Seshan Zefai, so that was one of the biggest, one name that we unveiled first. We have names like Anik Brand, who of course his contract issues done, but of course he has some license issues that we're trying to sort out. We have Simba Sabir, who joined back the club after of course a long time of period. We have Debran, who came into the team, of course I remember from a Royal Sports Club. We have Kanakulia, of course, who also is into the team because he was a goalkeeper at that is Arua Hill Sports Club and came back to Nduparaka Football Club. We have Abaiga Jiga, who is one of the goalkeepers that we had to bring into on board to see that he takes on the team. We have Jiga Michael, who from Adjuman Town Council is to cover up the left back position left by Okocha Rashid. We brought in Derek Rothomio from Vara Boys. He came into the team. We have the man aka known as Vela, but he's called Mungufen Jonathan. He was from St. Leo Football Club. He is in the team. So a lot of guys who have come in there. One of them is of course most of the guy call him Fuzi is into the team, of course in the defense line. So we're trying to structure up something to make sure things work out. We have guys who extended their contracts like Yakini Rashid, names like Abida Ezra, names like Okello Matthias. You look at some boys who have really Abunga, who have of course added into the tally. Samson Sizokuti is a coach player. We have Okuni Ramadan is a coach player. He could be jetting in anytime you would see him play. So there are really a lot of names that have come in there, but of course there are also names that have gone off. Coach Rashids, you've talked about names like of course Ojara, who left the club. You could be seeing that there are also some of the names like Okeche Emmanuel, who are not into the club. These are some of the familiar figures that people could have talked about. The Odongos who left. Yeah, but all in all, Nduparaka still stands. Nduparaka remains, and that is where it is. Okumu Rogers to Arua Hill Sports Club. It's all about business, and for us, we don't think it's something that is for hatred. Football is a fair game, so we look at how the business part of it runs, and that is how exactly we've tried to structure Nduparaka Football Club and put in there. We lost coaches who were there, but of course brought in a new technical team. So that's how exactly the team is running.
Did some of these new players sign for free, or as you had to spend some cash in signing them, and at the same time some of the outgoing players, did you get some money out of their sale as they just went on free?
Of course, players that contracts got ended obviously will have to go for free, and players that their contracts were valid will have to be paid for. That's why you're seeing Jerry Ekwe is not in the camp, but he has not yet come. He's going to come because he's still a player of Nduparaka, contracted and licensed. So that's where exactly it is. But if you look at some of the players, obviously there are some players who will always come with the issues of money. And then there are those every player that comes, whether with the contract or without contract, has to come with money, because you have sign-on fees to pay to these players. But you may not pay the clubs. So most of the players, that is how exactly it is. Sign-on fees are to be paid to them, and that is what Onduparaka has fulfilled to make sure that things work on well in their agreements. Of course, these agreements are not sometimes discussed by Owen, who is a public relation. It is the club CEO to do all this. So the transactions and the rest obviously will have to be done by them. So that's how exactly the teams are. But of course, January is also coming. We could be expecting more. Remember, some clubs right now, Federation of Uganda Football Association brought what is called double licensing, and that is one thing. You will be seeing some players play for us. We'll be seeing them play for some of the teams because of double licensing, and that is exactly what we are going to be putting in place.
Yes, we are all left with 2 minutes to finalize the discussion about Onduparaka Football Club. But before we get off for a break, one thing we need to talk about is the brand part of it you spoke about. Particularly, we are going to look at the merchandise. When we talk about the merchandise, we are talking about so many things, but this time we need to talk about the jerseys. People are complaining all over that they have not received the jerseys, the new jerseys of the FUFA Big League. What can you tell them?
Onduparaka is one of the clubs in this country that has never failed to produce a season jersey, whether late or early. We just 4 games into the game. We like 1 month into the game.
Yes.
So anytime soon you could be expecting that come out. For that is Onduparaka Football Club. Of course, we are a team. Whether you go to regional league, we shall still be bringing you what is called the merchandise or the club replica jerseys that you will always have to put on. So that's one thing that I'm looking into, and we're expecting that probably to come very fast or very soon in case of anything, because there are a few issues that are just letting it down. But of course, in the meantime, as I talk, we don't have kits in our stores. There's no jersey. There's no even fans replica. There's no totally they are not there. Kampala stock is out, Rua is out, and it is very hard. It is very hard. So we really pushing hard to make sure that we get the replicas for this season, so that we can also make sure that we support the club and push it there, because these are some of the revenues that the club gets in right for the games that are going, for the club to get revenue for these players, for to run the club. So it is one big thing I think we shall be doing in there.
As we get to close the session, anything you may still want to tell to the viewers or to the fans of Onduparaka Football Club about the club, maybe in 30 seconds?
Yeah, a lot of things. Onduparaka is always so much with a lot of information, and right now there's that running of the membership card that is ongoing. You pay and get in there. You can of course always get to the you subscribe to the membership by paying some amount, 200,000, 250, 350, 500, 1 million. We have platinum, we have gold, we have bronze.
Yes.
Yeah, all those. We have silver. So wherever you can fit, you are able to do. You can all go to our offices at cafeteria and of course make sure that you do transactions. You can even pay wherever you are. Send us your details, and we're using the Momo codes that we all over our social handles to make sure that you be part of this. So it is one big thing that our Onduparaka Football Club wants to do. We want to make difference with the rest, and that is what we were always known for, and that is what exactly we shall be pushing for. And that is one of the biggest thing I want to say as Onduparaka public relations, saying that yes, we can do this, and that is your support towards Onduparaka Football Club. If you pay for 1 million, you have you are able to get to make decisions in that is Onduparaka related activities. You become a board. In the board, you can make those meetings. You make decisions. You get 2 replicas. You get a shirt of Onduparaka Football Club. You're looking at me downing on a Onduparaka shirt. You can also have one. You likewise to the gold of 500, and then of course you get also a jersey and of course a shirt. Likewise to the bronze, you get a shirt and a season ticket. By the way, for all these cards you're paying, you get home season tickets. You will just only go and show your card, you watch for free. I mean, you watch for the money you've paid for the whole season. And that is what we are pushing in there. So it is membership, you become part of it, and you will always be there. So the new kit that comes out, we shall give them out. Already people are buying. Honorable Anita Evelyn has already bought hers for platinum, which is 1 million. Honorable, I mean, of course, the presidential candidate, Besigye, of course, Dr. Besigye Kiza has bought his. Talk about names like Benjamin Nyakuri, who of course stepped down as the president, bought his. Mercy Munduru has bought his. I mean, there are a lot of other names that have bought this. Of course, if you go to our social media, you will see what exactly is there. Check around who has paid. Of course, they have paid, and that's the time. Bernard Atiku, honorable, of course, right now as I talk, he lost his father. That's the club patron up to now. He bought his already. So it is one of the biggest things that is moving in there. But I want to say that if you buy, you become part of the club. That means you're supporting the club indirectly, and that is Nduparaka Football Club.